Over the past few days, as I've been hanging out for the holidays, I've been playing a bunch of Dwarf Fortress, without taking notes or recording what I've been up to. But my fortress of spike bridges finds itself in a precarious position, so I think it's time to pause the game and catch all of you up on what's happening with a quick guided tour going down from the tip of the volcano where we began to the foot of the mountain where everything is actively going wrong. When we embarked, we first appeared in quite the precarious position, right on the rim of the volcano. Fortunately, nobody has fallen into the magma, though we had some close calls when we were being swarmed by stork corpses. The volcano itself is located in wild territory, but the edges of our lands dip into some haunted biomes, which has presented the occasional challenge in the form of undead birds and what is presently taking place at the bottom of the mountain, but we'll get to that. From the edge of the volcano, we dug into the mountain to set up this magma-powered metalworking zone, which has been slowly filling the hollowed-out stockpile area with gold bars for the past couple years. We also set up a wood-burning furnace in case it was necessary. It wasn't. One floor up from here, we have our farm, which supplies the fortress with mushrooms for eating and for drinking, and one floor down from here, we have the main workshop and office area. I was trying out something a little different with the design of it, and I don't love it, but what I do love are the little back alleyways off of the back of workshops and stockpiles. One leads back up to the farm, but the other goes down through the bedroom floor, boring, just a bunch of bedrooms, and to the meeting areas floor, where the tavern, hospital, guild halls, and temples were built. Only one guild hall, hospital, and tavern were furnished, and even then it was a little lackluster. An artifact on a pedestal, beds stacked end to end, and a couple tables are not quite the furnishings you would expect given the pile of gold I was hoarding in the tip of the mountain. But as always, I like a good treasure pile more than my dwarves being happy. Continuing down the mountain from there, we find our way to the big chunk of mountain that I hollowed out, digging up marble and alunite. The alunite I used in the magma smelting area, and the marble I didn't, because I found out after hollowing out this large section of mountain that I didn't really like the look of it. Continuing down from there, we arrive at base camp. Further down from here, there are the gabbro mines and the emergency wells, but they don't need any more touring than that. As we leave the mountain and head towards the big problem, we pass by the cemetery. Of the 6 gravestones in the cemetery, 3 were dwarves slain by the dwarf Tyrist Worked Flashed when he entered a berserk rage over not getting the leather he wanted for an artifact, and 1 was Tyrist Worked Flashed after he was killed for killing 3 dwarves in a berserk rage. And as we finally arrive at my guard station with lava moat, it is time to reveal that 6 dead dwarves is hardly the full count anymore, because we are in the midst of having quite the undead problem. It started when I noticed that one of my dwarves was a beekeeper necromancer. No big deal, I would just have to lock her up where she wouldn't be able to find any dead things. That would have worked fine had 2 other invading necromancers not shown up and raised a number of dead animals to their cause. The necromancers were successfully chased off, but the 2 yak skeletons they raised have killed about a dozen dwarves between them, many of them twice. That's because my own necromancer is now panicking and raising dead all over the place, sowing even more chaos. At this point, a significant portion of my population is made up of zombies. I could raise the bridge to my guard station and let this problem deal with itself. My military has been decimated after all. But I think the best end to my volcanic vacation is to just unpause the game and see how this all plays out. Right off the bat, it went poorly, which was pretty fun to watch, and also pretty much what I expected to happen. At some point in the kerfuffle, the necromancer died, and so the things that died had to stay dead, which it turns out was quite bad news for me and my dwarves, and our population plummeted at the hooves of the undead yaks. Rather quickly, we ended up with only a single dwarf remaining. He had been occupying himself planting mushrooms as far away from the battle as he could get. And so, as much of a coward as he might be, I didn't want this fortress to crumble, and so I needed to entrust it to him, so that he could be the custodian of spike bridges after I retired the fortress and left. It wouldn't do to give zombies free reign of the fortress, and so as my last act before retirement, I told him to raise the bridge over the lava moat and retreat inside until I might need him next. Even with an undead yak skeleton within spitting distance, he pulled it off, and at the perfect time to save a cat companion as well. As far as vacations go, that one had a pretty thrilling ending, and because it was only a 99% total destruction and not 100%, I will be free to unretire the fortress should I desire another volcanic vacation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.